Hey guys, I'm Jill Powell, and today I'm going to teach you how to do a beautiful everyday bridal look because Ariel is getting married today. So I'm going to teach you this look in order to make your eyes look so amazing on your wedding day. Okay, so we are gonna start your bridal eyes. And when I'm doing bridal, it's important to really contour the eye and make everything pop. I'm gonna add a tiny bit of shimmer. She's still very young, so we're gonna keep it young and playful and beautiful. Sometimes I'll do all matte on brides. It just kind of depends. So your dress is kind of that taupier, champagne, beige situation, right?
Yeah.
Like a little bit deeper than the ivory, not as dark as a beige.
Yeah, it's an in-between.
Not peachy at all, like not that warm undertone, definitely that cool kind of taupier undertone. So always ask your bride what color is their dress, because if they have a white dress, there's certain things that look better. If they have a champagne color dress, there's certain things that look better. And hey, if they have a color dress, brides are doing everything nowadays. You know, you wanna make sure that it's complementing that. What was the other question I asked you?
You asked me what color my shoes were.
Shoes and flowers.
Yes.
Flowers are really important. That's like an accessory. It's right in front. You can see it, and you need to make sure that makeup complements. But of course, we're also gonna keep this really timeless. So I'm gonna kind of stick in that kind of taupier beige, but make sure that it looks really great on camera. So let's get started. All right, so always starting off with an eyeshadow primer, especially for a bride, just to make sure it stays on. Again, waterproofing everything, making sure that it is nice and strong. This one is MAC Paint Pot in Painterly. I do love this guy. Super easy to use. I'm using a flat synthetic brush just to apply it all over the lid, and you want to go from lashes all the way up to the brow. A little bit is all you need. It's a nice matte eyeshadow primer, so you don't need a lot of it. So the first thing I'm going to do on Ariel is kind of contour out her crease. So go ahead and actually open. This is a great way when you have a bride, you want to make sure it looks really natural and it's very timeless. So I'm going to see where her eye naturally goes in, and I'm just going to take a neutral shade and I'm going to just go right in that area to kind of find where I want to accentuate natural shading. So as you can see, I've placed it just above her crease just to lift a little bit. And then she can close and I can go back in and fix and blend. Just like I do with complexion, with eyes, it's all about those sheer layers. So get that color on, blend it out, and then if you need more, place more. The color I'm using is from the Anastasia Sultry palette, and this one is Twig. So it's a really like kind of charcoaly brown, more on that taupey side, not super, super warm. Doesn't have a lot of orange tones to it, but it's going to just give a nice shadow and a nice contour to her eyes. And I'm using a MAC 226, so a pointed kind of smaller blending brush. I really wanted to get that color on exactly where I want it. So go ahead and open. So I'm just shading right above her crease. And then you can close again. It is right above her eyeball, so you don't necessarily have to have her open, but it is a great way to know exactly where you want to place everything. And I'm bringing the color really lightly all the way over because I want to have a continuous dimension going on. And then turn your chin slightly towards me and then open again. So again, we're gonna kind of pop that color on the outside. Get it exactly where we want it and close. And then blend. And the reason why I'm doing her crease first, I'm doing kind of like a medium to deep color first because I really want to make her eyes pop. It's all about the photos. It's all about making her look super beautiful today and timeless beauty. This is just accentuating her natural shadowing that she has on her eyes. So naturally, this is where her eye goes in. So it's going to just really bring that out and make her eyes pop in the photos. And again, really lightly on that inner corner. I don't want to close up her eye, but I do want to create a continuous crease. Just going to create a little bit of lift right in this area. So now I'm going to go in with my Natasha Denonna palette, which I love. And I'm going to use some of these first shades. So probably Skin and Moonstone, and maybe a little bit of Suede and Shell. It's kind of like this genre right here. So her dress is kind of this like beigey, pretty color. So I definitely want to use some of this. And I'm using a really old school brush. This is an old school Sephora brush. They do not make this handle anymore, but they definitely make this shape. So a small kind of flat shading brush, and go ahead and close. And I'm just going to lighten up her lid. I'm going to get this color right on the base of her lashes. And this is just going to create a really beautiful pop on her lid. I'm going to shade that inner part, probably about 2/3 of the way over. So we're just going to get a nice bright lid going on. I've got my crease brush that I was using. I did get a little bit higher than I wanted to right there, so I'm just going to blend it out. Very pretty. Open for me. Oh my gosh. I love these shadows. They just have such a beautiful shimmer to them. It's amazing. So again, just really pressing that shadow on the lid, getting it nice and rich in pigment. A lot of times I find that people don't put enough shadow on. So while I like sheer layers, I do like the lid color to be really strong, no matter what you're doing. So just make sure you're not being too shy and doing just like a little tiny sweep. Sometimes it's okay, but for the most part, get that color on there. Make it look good. All right, I'm going to blend that crease just to make sure that transition's nice and seamless. Now I want to add a little bit of color. So I'm going to take Suede, which is here in that top, because her crease is a little bit more of that charcoaly brown, so I want to warm it up just a tiny bit. And I'm going to create that transition on the outer part of the lid. So again, right there. And this is the MAC 217 brush. One of my favorites for blending and placing. I've got the majority of what I want on her eyes. I definitely want to do some eyeliner, and I definitely want to do something underneath, but I'm not totally sure yet what, because again, I'm super visual, so it just kind of happens. I don't plan a lot. I don't plan a lot of my makeup. I plan the rest of my life to the T. So we're gonna go ahead and do some waterproof eyeliner. Do you wear eyeliner on a daily basis?
Yes.
Okay. What's your style? Do you like it winged out? Do you like it more simple?
Usually I do a wing, yeah.
Okay, like a little flick, little feline flick. Okay, so we're gonna do some of that. I'm probably gonna use Blacktrack from MAC because I know that it stays on. It's really great. There's some really awesome waterproof gel liners or waterproof liquid liners or waterproof pencils that you can use. There's also a lot of times like a mixing medium that can seal things, so that's another option for your brides. But we're gonna do that eyeliner on the top. We're gonna get lashes on because that's gonna deepen and darken the look. So instead of doing any more contouring or darkening of the eyes, I wanna get that eyeliner and mascara on to see how dark it's gonna be. Okay, so I'm gonna use a small brush. This one's from Tarte. I think I actually got it in the kit with the gel liner. So I'm using a MAC gel liner and a Tarte brush. I like the bent one, like it's a little bent angle. So there's like a bent side and a flat side, which is another reason why I love this brush, because sometimes one is better than the other. But I'm gonna go ahead and let you close. Sorry, my hands are cold. And I'm just gonna get this liner right up against her lash line. Really soft, kind of sweeping motions. And she's got a decent lid space, so I don't have to be super particular about making it really thin because she can handle probably a little bit more eyeliner. Is that right? Do you do like a decent thickness? I'm going to get this inner corner, so I'm just going to lift a tiny bit. Get right in that inner tear duct. Okay. And then I'm going to thicken it as we go. And these longer motions are going to prevent any of that skipping. And I'm going both directions, and that's going to really smooth out that line. Open for me. All right, so now we've got a majority of the line going on. I do want to round out the shape a little bit, so I'm just going to double check a couple things and look down. I want to round it right here. Let me see. Yep. And then I want to thicken it right here. Let me see. And then look straight for me. So we're going to give her a little tiny little flick here. Again, we want to keep it timeless, so a little flick to match and mirror the lashes that we're going to use. I didn't tell you we're going to do fake lashes on you. Is that okay?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So you want the liner to mirror her lashes, but you don't want it to be too trendy. You want it to be more timeless. So a lot of times I'll have my client have their eye open because you can really see where that wing is going. And then I'm going to take a flat synthetic brush and I'm just going to kind of extend it and flick it out a little bit. This will make the end nice and soft and not like super strict. I don't want it out that far. I brought it up a little bit too high, so we fixed it. I'm feeling a little better about this. So the struggle is real, right?
Yeah.
So she was looking down and I was creating this perfect wing, and then she would look up and it would smile at me and it would bend, and I didn't want it to bend. I want it to come more out. So I did have to do some correction on both eyes. I thought I would nail it on the first one. Didn't. I was like, oh, I know what was wrong. Did it on the second one and it did it again, even more so. So that is okay. You can always go in and correct your mistakes. So I did have to do a little bit of correction. And basically she said, I have to do my wing first, and you'd probably have to look straight into the mirror, right?
Oh, yeah. I have to hold the mirror like this and do my wing and then go over.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a struggle.
So we learned. Lesson learned, people. All right, I'm just going to make sure that this eye is nice and blended since we did some correction. I don't want to have an eyeshadow hole. All right, let's get some lashes on. Okay, so I have done a little bit of waterproof mascara as well as lashes, and I used the Ardell Wispy Studio Effects lashes just because I wanted, she has a decent eye and she can handle like a lot of lash. Normally I would say go for something more natural. You don't want to look like you have caterpillars on your eyes, but these lashes are going to look so gorgeous in her photos, and just they really complement. So you can see how much everything darkened with the liner and the lashes. So now that I can see that, I realize I don't need to do any more darkening of the crease. I don't need to shade anymore. I love how it's looking. It's just so timeless and pretty. I am going to shade a little bit underneath. So I'm going to take that same color that I had done in her crease to start out with, Twig. Go ahead and look up. And I'm just going to shade underneath to create some shadowing. And I'm just going to kind of blend it out. I'm using a small, like pointed pencil brush. This one's by Elcie. It's the E5 brush. And this is just going to frame her eye again to make it look amazing in photos. So just right under her lashes and just blending it. So I don't want a strong line. Yes, that looks so good. And then turn your chin this way and look up. So again, right underneath those lashes, just shading right in there, right up against her lash line. Little by little. I want most of the color in the outer corner to just really frame her eye, so that's where I'm always starting. And then I'm going to fade it towards the inner and then fade it towards her wing. I don't want to disrupt the wing at all, so I'm just kind of softening it as I get out there. I do want to do a little bit of shimmer on the inner corners, so I'm going to grab these really pretty shimmery colors. This one's Pearl. And I'm just going to give her a tiny inner corner highlight and a little bit underneath in her tear duct area, just to really brighten and give a little glow. So again, tear duct, and then right along the bottom. This just really makes the eyes, it kind of gives them an extra little sparkle. I love the way it looks. A little bit is all you need. Oh my gosh, so pretty. Look at that. And we did bottom mascara as well. Always use waterproof on your bride. So I used the Lancome Hypnose Drama Waterproof because that is one that stays put, let me tell you. But make sure your brides know that they need to use a oil-based cleanser to remove it at night, because they don't want to rip out their lashes, but it is an awesome mascara. So last but not least, we have lips. So anytime, like I would talk to her and ask her, she's actually going to do a dark lip for her wedding, which is amazing. So on camera though, I'm going to show you guys a traditional bridal lip. I like to do something that's kind of like a lip color, something that's really neutral for the most part. Again, every bride has their own personality and you want to cater to that. So we're going to do a dark lip afterwards. But for this video, I'm going to show you kind of an everyday beautiful lip, because you don't want to do too nude where it just disappears. So I'm going to start out, I've got two different pencils. I have MAC Double Time and the BareMinerals Gen Nude Freestyle. Okay, so I'm going to take the Freestyle color, which is a little bit more brown, and I'm going to outline her lips just to give like a nice neutral line. I'm going really light. She's got a really pretty Cupid's bow. And I like to balance my pinky on their face. I just find it gives me a little bit more of a steady hand. And right in that corner. Rounding out her lips. And same thing on the bottom. Just really defining her lip line with this. And I'm doing more of a neutral shade first, just to really kind of carve out her lips, make them stand out in photos. If your client wants to do a really nude lip, you need to have some sort of definition, because you do not want everything to disappear on the camera. So now I'm going to go in with MAC Double Time, which is a tiny bit more of a pinky, kind of peachy color. And I'm going to blend that line that I just did. But I'm also going to fill in. I could also use a lip primer. One of my favorites is the Too Faced Lip Primer, Lip Insurance. You can do that so that your bride's lips last a little bit longer. If you're a makeup artist, I always suggest giving your bride the lip products. She needs to be able to touch up, unless you're going to be there all day. She needs to have her lips the whole wedding. So this is just ensuring this one's Double Time is one of the MAC Prolongwear Lipliners. So it's going to ensure that it's longer wearing. So I'm going to use the NARS 7 Deadly Sins. And this one is Pride. It's just a really pretty, like neutrally pinky kind of lip color, basically. And I'm just going to apply this all over. And this way she has just like a neutral lip that will look timeless in photos, even though we're doing a dark lip later. But this is just like a great everyday bridal color. So I'm just going to top it off with a neutral gloss. This one is the BECCA Chrisy Teigan Glow Gloss. Again, just something really neutral. I could go a little bit more pink, but I'm just sticking kind of in this neutral tones. You want to ask your bride too. Sometimes they want a matte lip so it doesn't kiss off in the ceremony, but for photos, it's always good to have a nice little shine, kind of something pretty. Okay, so just to recap, for your brides, always a primer on the eyes. Make sure your eyeshadows stay on. We went ahead and contoured her crease with kind of like a neutral taupier shade to go with her dress, and that was from the Anastasia Sultry palette, the color Twig. Then we went ahead and lightened her lid with the Natasha Denonna palette and did a really shimmery color on her lid, and then blended in some more neutral kind of taupey, warmer shades though on the outer part of the lid as well as a little bit in the crease. I skipped a brow highlight on this one, and that's okay. We can go back in. If you were to do a brow highlight, I suggest sticking with matte just so it is very timeless. I did the MAC Blacktrack Gel Liner Waterproof on her liner, and then we went ahead and applied the Ardell Studio Effect Wispies. I shaded underneath the eye a little bit as well with the Anastasia Twig eyeshadow again, which was the same crease color. We highlighted the inner corners with that Sultry palette as well, I think Pearl, just to really brighten up that inner corner. And then on her lips, we did 2 different pencils, one that was waterproof to fill in to make it stay, that was MAC Double Time, and then Freestyle from BareMinerals Gen Nude as your more neutral liner on the outside. We did a little bit of lipstick from the 7 Deadly Sins palette from NARS, which was Pride, and then the BECCA Chrisy gloss on top. So you've got this beautiful, timeless bridal look. She is all ready for her wedding. It's going to look amazing in her photos. She's going to look timeless. She's gonna look beautiful, and you're gonna have an amazing day. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for being here. So this is Ariel, and everyone, I wanna hear you guys give her a big congratulations on her wedding day. She came and filmed with me on her wedding day. How amazing is that? Like, she's a trooper. Thanks again for watching my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment below what you want to see next. All of the products used in my video are also linked below. And if you want to see more, follow me anywhere at Joe Powell Glam. Thanks again.